It's happening. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are living out our Harry Potter dreams and making a little potion bottle. If you didn't read the title, or if you can't tell by my very obvious pink and red colour scheme, it is going to be a love potion. I follow a few accounts that make replicas from Harry Potter and other fantasy worlds. They always look so good and I've wanted to make one for such a long time. And my mum gave me the idea actually of making a love potion in time for Valentine's Day. And so here we are. If you follow any of those accounts that I'm talking about, you will know how magical they look. Mine definitely won't reach that level because I have a few limitations, the main one being I don't have a printer to create a label that looks really professional, so I'm going to try and substitute as best I can with some of the ingredients and make improvements for the next one, because I can tell you right now, I know I will be making more of these in the future and I haven't even started yet. The supplies I have already are a maple syrup bottle for the bottle, one red glue stick, but I do have red paint, some twine red ribbon. If you saw my Christmas napkin sewing video, this was wrapped around the fabric that I bought and I saved it to use for a future project. Not sure yet, we'll just see what happens with that. And I also have these little gold bells that I bought for another Christmas craft and some red glitter. This is going to be a very aesthetically pleasing colour palette, which is so satisfying. I don't know if I'll need it, but I also have this really thin gold wire. And for the label, I just have this watercolour paper that is slightly textured, and I'm thinking I'll keep it really simple with just a heart decoration of some sort, maybe with the glitter. The things I still need to get to give that really cool metallic magic look, it needs to have some kind of mineral powder in it. I have completely blanked on what the non-edible powder is called, but the edible version, which I think I'll have better access to, is just called luster powder. It is available at Spotlight, and we all know how much I love a good Spotlight trip, so I am very keen to have a wander. I'll also need some kind of glue, red food colouring, some clear contact to cover the label. And I think that's all I need. I have that feeling that I've forgotten something important. I'm so excited for this. Alright, let's get our bottle ready. Okay, so the bottle is scrubbed of its labels. It is scrubbed of its gluey residue, and it has been washed. Don't you think this is just the perfect love potion-esque bottle? It would only be more perfect if it was, you know, a little bit more love heart shaped, but I think it's a pretty good close approximation. I think it will be best to fill the bottle first and then decorate it to just have absolutely no risk of spoiling the decorations once they're on, especially the label, which will take a bit of time to make because I plan to stain it with coffee first to give it a little bit of a antique look, hopefully. So I kind of went to Spotlight and completely forgot to record. There are just too many distractions in Spotlight and whew, gone. Plan of attack, gone. I just see all the home decor and craft supplies and I just want to make all the things. So that's why I take a list, because when I get distracted I can go back to the list and remember why I'm there in the first place. Red food colouring, Luster Dust in this silvery white colour, because I figured if I got a neutral colour I could use it in other projects in the future. But I couldn't find Contact, and I asked a lady there and apparently they don't sell it, which is bizarre to me, and they didn't have it at the supermarket either, so I just got some craft glue to stick the label on, and I just got some extra glue sticks. I actually wanted to get coloured glue sticks this time so that I could just do the red on the seal, but they didn't have any that weren't glittery, so I have just got some plain ones and I will end up using my red paint probably. I'm sorry I forgot to take you with me. You'll just have to imagine that wonderful world of Spotlight for yourself, or treat yourself and get on down there and have a wander. You don't even have to buy stuff. Spotlight just makes you feel good. Welcome to your first potions class. Would you trust a potions teacher if they looked like this? Honestly. If it's not dark academia, it's a little bit untrustworthy. We learnt that lesson from Wednesday, didn't we, kids? It is time to mix up our potion. I forgot to check how much this holds. One moment. Okay, I grabbed our new bottle of maple syrup and it holds 250 mils, apparently. Water. Look at that, magic. Okay, we have 250 mils ish. I'm just gonna start adding ingredients. I told ya, not trustworthy as a potions teacher. Oh, this could be bad. Oh no, it's begun. Ah! Why are you so hard to open? Do you want this to go everywhere? Honestly. Whew. Okay. Quickly put this on. There were a few choices and I went with Christmas red. It just seemed the darkest, most rich red colour, and I figured that was the best for a love potion. This one is not going to look like Indian ink. I was trying to remember the lyric because it is not love potion number 9, it'll be love potion 10. That is dense. And just a hint of lust. Fairy godmother is goals. I hope when I'm a grandma I am as glam as fairy godmother. Jennifer Saunders. Looks weird. Gonna do a close up for this, I think. Bit more. Bit more. That's a boy. It's very gloopy dye. It's not liquid. I don't understand. What have I bought? One of the ingredients that I couldn't find was glycerin, and I've just realized there is glycerin in the colouring that I got, so maybe it'll help. I think we'll stop there for the colour. It's a very lusty red already, so we'll keep it there. I want to be able to see the metallic powder, so it's probably best to keep it on the lighter side. Here goes. All the videos I've seen of these kind of potions being made, they only add the tiniest amount of this stuff and it gives that magical effect. So I'll start with a little bit and I'll add more if it looks like it needs it. It hasn't quite dissolved how I thought it would. I'm wondering if it needed to be hot water. This first trial didn't quite work. I can see that there is some metallic shine in there. It's almost as if part of the powder's dissolved but part of it has remained solid. To be honest, it hasn't exactly turned out the texture I thought it would, but it definitely still gives it a little bit of a shine and a little bit of movement in the liquid. So when you shake it up, it does look like it's a little bit magical. It's just not that real metallic-y, swirly look that the non-edible version produces. I'm going to add it to my bottle and then we can start decorating. It's a weird texture. I don't like it. I don't know if you can see it from there, but it's a bit swirly. She's got some swirl. Now that we've got our liquid ready, the next step is to start decorating the bottle. My plan is to wrap this twine around the lid, add a seal wax stamp on the top, bells and cherubs and stuff. It's very like romantic, right? The first bit of decoration is complete. Next step is to glue all on the top to make it look like it's been sealed with wax. I have loaded up my red glue stick, but there is still some yellow and some white glue stick in there that I need to get through first. So I'm going to try and save the red for the dribbles down the side and instead start with the top of the seal. This is turning out so cute. I thought I was going to run out of the red before I managed to do the drips and completely cover the top. I am running out of daylight for today though, so I will stop here and tackle the label tomorrow when I've got a bit more daylight and more energy to do some calligraphy, and it'll be finished. See you tomorrow. It is day 2 and time to do the labels. While I was decorating the bottle yesterday, I cut out some labels. I really love how the colour turned out. I have thought about maybe distressing one of them to make it look a bit worn. Maybe it needs to be done when it's wet. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to let these dry fully before I start to decorate them. I made 4 because I didn't want to only make one and then make a mistake and have to start the process all over again and delay the project. So I made 4 all in one go. 2 of them were soaked for 2 minutes, 2 of them were soaked for 5 minutes. I honestly can't tell the difference between them, so it obviously didn't matter for this type of paper. The plan now is to use a pencil to sketch out where I would like some text written, and then I will go over it with artline marker and then see if it looks too empty. I might still do a little glittery heart just for some colour and to fill the space on the label, but I'll do that last. Alright, calligraphy time. In the end, I decided to go for the more simplistic design versus one that left room for a heart. It would be nice to add a bit more texture or decorative edge to it, but I think for this first attempt I'm going to just leave it simple. But when I have another go at making potions, I will make the labels a bit more decorative. For now, I'm going to use some craft glue to stick it on the bottle. Oh, it's a stabby one. Stick on it. Stick. I feel like BB-8 in the scene when he's trying to plug all the electricity sparks. There's just all these little spots where the label's lifting up. So I'm just trying to hold it for a bit until it dries. This is what I wanted the contact roll for, so that once I'd glued it on, I could put a thin layer, just enough over it to hold all the edges down smoothly. But that's okay. I'm sure this will work as well. Just gotta be patient. And for the final touch, a ribbon. It's done! Aww. For something that is mostly made out of materials I already had lying around, and something I've never made before, this turned out so good! After the luster dust didn't work out very well yesterday, I did a quick Google and realised that yes, I did need glycerin or alternatively alcohol to dissolve the powder in properly, because it's not water soluble. I have that feeling that I've forgotten something important. So that's one thing to fix for next time. As much as I do really think the writing is cute, the label does look a little bit plain. Not so bad when it's just a little decoration on a shelf. I decided to go with the French translation of Love Potion, just to add that little edge of intrigue, I suppose. I really like the seal on the top. It would be amazing to have a stamp that I could put some kind of logo. For a very low temperature, cheap glue gun job, it's pretty good. Just a little lumpy. I also didn't realise quite how much the yellow glue was showing through the twine, so that was a bit of a mishap, but no matter. Makes it look like it's old and starting to go bad. Whatever happens to twine when it goes bad. The bow adds that nice last little touch of this is a gift in a bottle feeling. And although I did stuff up a little bit with the powder, it is still a really nice colour and it does get a little bit of a metallic shine in there when you swirl it up. Eat your heart out, Snape. There's a new potions professor in town. I hope you enjoyed celebrating the month of love with me, making this gorgeous little love potion. Let me know if you have a favourite potion from a fantasy world that you wish you could make in real life. But in the meantime, you know the drill. Like a video to feed the creator for a day, subscribe to support them forever. Until next time, stay creative. Ah, sweaty. I need a little spoon. Is that you, Tom?
Mm.
Hello.
That's good.
The paper. Sleep out,